My name is Miss Hogan. I'm a teacher here at Burroughs and Ladd. And one of the first times I came into contact with the American Girls series, particularly the Addy series, was at the public library. The school I went to did not have a media center due to budget cuts and whatnot. And my parents decided to get me interested in reading, especially my mother, to take me down to the public library. And browsing the books, the only thing that really looked interesting to me was the Addy series because there were so many and they were simple enough for me to read. I wasn't a strong reader at the time. Picking up the book, I totally fell in love with it. I read all the books there, and I found a little mail-in slip to get the catalog. So I mailed it in without my parents' permission, and I snuck it into the mailbox. And a couple weeks later, they sent me a catalog with the doll in it. And I was so excited, and I went around the house telling my dad, telling my mom, I want this Addy doll, this Addy doll. And I did everything under God's creation to get it. I vacuumed, I did dishes, anything I could to get the Addy doll. Christmas morning, opened the box up, and there she was. And that was my favorite thing. My friends and family, they slowly bought me some of the books. They were quite expensive at the time. They only came in hardcover, and they were about $20. And for my family, that was fairly expensive. But by the time I was about 11 years old, I had all the books, and I was a very avid reader. The Addy doll series for me really did push my reading through. By the time I graduated the 8th grade, I have a 3.7 grade point average. And I attribute that love of reading with the Addy doll. So when I saw it the program going here at Burroughs and Ladd, the Addy Girl series, I was really excited because I knew for me that's what helped change my whole academic outlook.
My name is Heather James, and I am going to give a summary of how the Addy Reading Club works. To be in the Addy Reading Club, first you have to sign your contract. Then you go to a banquet and meet the ladies from the sorority. After you eat, you will get an Addy necklace so that you can have a necklace like the one Addy had for her great-grandmother. Next, you check out the books and start taking AR tests. All tests must be taken in the library so Ms. Ballard can keep track of your scores. To go to the Addy luncheon, you have to read at least 5 books and pass 5 tests. To win the grand prize, you have to read all 6 books.
The Addy Book Club is something that can be operated on a classroom level, a school level, or even on a district level. In our case, it's operated at the district level, and each of the elementary schools in our county participates in the program. In our case, we have a sorority that's provided copies of sets of books to each of our libraries. As interest in the program's grown, and more girls are interested in participating in it, there's not enough books basically to go around. And so what we decided to do at our school is to supplement the collection by purchasing several sets of our own. But at $40 per set, purchasing brand new copies can be a bit prohibitive. So what we've done instead is we've gone to yard sales, to Goodwill, thrift stores, and then especially to eBay to try to put together our own sets of the book for classroom use.
In 5th grade social studies, we cover United States history from 1860 to the present. The social studies standards covers the causes, the major events, and consequences of the Civil War. We discuss different historical figures, different events, and issues of that time. The Addy series brings out these different concepts, those figures, those events, and those issues, and it portrays them through the eyes of a child. That gives the children a deeper connection to the standards, which leads to a higher level of thinking and comprehension. Not to mention the socialization that goes on between the students and the teachers through the club.
I wanted to be in the Addy Girl Book Club because it was interesting. I wanted to read all the chapters, and I wanted to know what it was about, slaves and Black history. And then I wanted a necklace because it represented what she had on when she was on the cover of the book. The Addy book club used to be the Addy Girl book club, but it's not anymore. Boys wanted to join, and girls told us that it was sounding interesting for boys to read. It's not just for girls; it's for boys too.
Freedom ain't free. At 13 next morning, Mom and Addy sat side by side in the woman section. Addy looked across the aisles where all the men sat and imagine that some days her papa would be sitting over there smiling and give her a wink that said, "You my favorite girl." When the deep notes of the organ sounded, everyone stood to sing.
At the end of the Addy program, we have a special activity, and that activity is a banquet. In order to be invited to the banquet, what you have to do is the students have to read 5 out of the 6 books and pass 5 out of 6 AR tests. The menu for the banquet came from book 3, Addy's Surprise. And in that book, Addy and her mother are going to church on Christmas Eve, and they're going to have a dinner after the service. And the menu from that dinner consisted of turkey, dressing, greens, cornbread, and Addy's mother is making one of Addy's favorite desserts, which is sweet potato pudding. As you know, the cost of a banquet can be quite expensive. So what we've done at our school is ask the Parent Involvement Committee, the PTA, and the staff members to contribute items that are on our menu. Members of the PTA prepare the food, and on the designated day, the students and staff get together to fellowship with one another.
No.
Another big thing for me with Addy was when I read Addy's lesson. And the reason why that story really got to me was because starting the book, she starts off as a slave girl, not knowing how to read, not knowing anything about academics. When she gets into the city and she starts going to school, she finds, she's able to read. But one of the biggest things for her was getting into the spelling bee and winning that spelling bee. And when I read that and I thought about it and I sat back, I said, she was a slave girl who didn't know anything, who didn't know how to read, and now she's winning spelling bees out of her whole class. And that was very profound for me as a weak reader. And when I thought about that, and I said, if she could do it, I can do it. I have a lot more going for me than she did. And when I read that, it really did touch me and really did move me to say, I can do it too. I can achieve more with myself too. If she can go from slavery to winning spelling bees within that time period, I can do it in my life with the advantages that I had.